Hi, and welcome to your online weight loss learning. I'm Peter Kenyon and I'm a weight loss educator, which means I help people to eat well, lose weight, and earn an income from their new healthy lifestyle. I believe that people may be whoever and whatever they want to be if they know what to do, how to do it, and more importantly, why they want to do it. I'm committed to helping you to reach a long and prosperous life through a better understanding of health and nutrition. This outcome of optimal health is achieved through diet, education, exercise, and supplement. This is week 2 of the weight loss workshops, and today we're looking at understanding the diet plan, restricted vegetable category of the diet plan, healthy snacking, hydration and healthy living, and sugar and your healthy lifestyle and where sugar belongs on a healthy lifestyle. Before we go on, let's look at last week's tasks. Now, last week, week 1, your focus was on protein and protein serves. You were to weigh your protein and learn to recognize what a serve looks like. And the goal was to meet your protein serve requirements and not exceed it. How did you go? Did you do it? I mean, this is progressive learning. We take only a little bit of changing a lifestyle and we just do that little bit each week and we build upon it each week. Last week's protein, this week it is restricted vegetables. So how did you go? Let's move on to part 1, understanding the diet plan. We didn't do the diet plan last week because I wanted you to focus straight onto protein, because a lot of times when you change the protein amount and get that under control, you will get your diet under control. Now, if you didn't do that, you've fallen behind. Okay, so understanding the diet plan. Let's take a look at the diet plan. The diet plan is on page 3 of the 5-week manual. Now, the manual comes with a 5-week Body Key weight loss program. If you want to be part of this program, simply contact me via the Peter Kenyon weight loss website on the emails. Now, before we begin, again, weight loss tip for you. Keep your meals and the food you eat simple when you're trying to change your eating lifestyle. It just makes it easier to keep track of the kilojoules and the serve counts. When we're looking at the diet plan, I hope you've got it in front of you right there in your manual. This is the headings part of the diet plan, giving you the categories, and the categories are food group category, 1200 or 5000 kilojoules category, 1500 or 6300 kilojoules category, 1800 calories or 7500 kilojoules category, and the amount equal to 1 serve. This is the food group column, and it's divided into restricted vegetables, non-restricted or unrestricted vegetables, fruits, bread, cereal, protein, and protein dairy. So this is protein non-dairy and protein dairy. These are the 3 columns that tell you how many serves of each food group you are permitted each day for the diet plan you have chosen to follow. Now, out of this, I want you to note that protein dairy is 3 serves, 3 serves, 3 serves, regardless of how many calories you are following each day. That is to ensure that you get your calcium requirement each day. This column here tells you the food you are permitted to eat for each food category. If the food is not there, you can't eat it. You have to earn the right to bring the food back into your diet, and you do that by losing weight. Let's look more closely at the food groups. We're not going to be looking at what foods are in the food groups. We're going to be doing that each week. Last week was protein. This week we'll look at the restricted vegetables a little bit later. But this is the restricted vegetables, and if you're following the 1200 or 5000 kilojoules diet plan, you're getting 1 serve, or you can permit 1 serve per day. If you're following the 1500 calorie plan, that's a 6200 kilojoule plan, you're permitted 2 serves per day. If it's the 1800 calorie plan, it's 3 serves per day. In the non-restricted vegetables food group, you can eat as many of these foods as you like. They're perfect for salads and they're perfect for your vegetables at night time. There is no restriction to how many you can have this. They're great for bolstering up your meals. The fruits, it's 2 serves, 2 serves, or 3 serves. So it's 2 serves for 1200 calories, 2 serves for 1500 calories, 3 serves for 1800 calories. For the bread and cereal categories, it's 3 serves per day, or 4 serves per day, or 5 serves per day. In the protein category, you're permitted 4 serves per day, 5 serves per day, or 6 serves per day, depending on the calorie diet plan you're following. The protein dairy, as we said, it's 3 serves per day. We looked at last week saying that ice cream's not permitted. Just remember that ice cream's not permitted because ice cream is not really a food. So we have other choices to choose from. The important thing of the protein category is to learn to weigh your protein. And we talked about that last week. How do you plan your serves? Well, this table here is on page 10 of the manual. And how you go about planning your serves is, well, number one, choose the kilojoules or calorie plan that you're going to follow. Are you going to follow 1200, 1500, or 1800 calorie plan? When you've done that, you work out how to spread your protein requirements out through the day. Here we're doing one serve for breakfast, and we've decided to have one serve for lunch, but also one serve of dairy as a meal replacement drink, and we had 3 serves for dinner. So you plan when you're going to have your protein. Just plan it out through the day. Always include a protein with a meal. It just helps to keep your blood sugar under control. Step 3, save your restricted vegetables for the main meal. So the night time, it's your main meal. Have your restricted vegetable there. It's just easier to have it there. Number 4, spread your unrestricted vegetables through 2 meals. So here I have my unrestricted vegetables. I have it lunch as salads, and I have my other unrestricted vegetables with my main meal at night time as I eat my meat and 3 or 4 veg. Number 5, plan when you have your bread and cereal served. So when are you likely to have your bread and cereal served? Do you have it with breakfast, or do you have it at lunchtime? Plan when you have your bread and cereal served. And then plan when you're going to eat your fruit. Are you going to have fruit as a meal, or are you going to have fruit as a snack? Number 7, make sure you have your dairy covered. Have you got your dairy covered for the day? Have you got your 3 serves of dairy? Just go through and just work it out. This is a great way to do this. If you just plan it out like this, I planned 3 days like this, and then I cycle through the days. There's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Okay, and that's how I work my diet plan. How do you record your serves? Well, on page 11 of the 5-week manual, you'll find this table, and you'll find maybe 10 of these tables. And what they're doing is you actually get the opportunity to record your food you're eating in the serve size as the day progresses. The first thing you look at is you say, what diet plan are you following? Well, me, I'm going to follow the 1500 calorie diet plan on this example, so I put that in the column heads. And then I say, how many serves are you permitted from each food group? So you look up here and go, well, 1500, there it is there. I'm permitted 2 serves, 3 serves, 4 serves, 5 serves, and 3 serves. That's a reminder for me as to how many serves I'm going to eat during the day. And then I start my day. So my breakfast will be a meal replacement drink and skim milk. Now, that'll be 1 serve of protein and 1 serve of protein dairy. Then morning tea, I'm going to have a banana. So that's 1 serve of fruit. So I throw that in the fruit column. Lunch, I'm going to have a chicken and salad sandwich, which is going to give me 2 serves of protein, which I add to my column, 2 serves of bread and cereal, which I've put in here, and some unrestricted vegetables, which I don't really necessarily count. You put a tick there if you want. Afternoon tea is going to be 250 grams of low-fat custard and 1 small banana. So low-fat custard, well, that's a serve of protein dairy. And 1 small banana, that's a serve of fruit. So far I'm traveling okay. I've got 2 out of 3 serves of fruit done, 2 out of 3 serves of dairy. I'm going well. Dinner, I'm going to keep it simple, meat and steamed veggies. So I'm going to have 2 serves of protein, because that takes me up to all my 5 serves I'm permitted. 2 serves of restricted vegetables, because I'm going to have my restricted vegetables at night. It's nice and easy. So I'm going to choose from the vegetable list what I'm going to have. I'm going to have vegetables from the unrestricted list to bolster out the meal. And I'm going to have 2 slices of bread, which then brings my tally for bread and cereal up to 4. Now, if we look at it, how are we traveling? Well, that's my main meal's done, and I've got some dessert I can have, because I can't have any more restricted vegetables. I can have 1 more serve of fruit, and I can have 1 more serve of dairy. So that'll mean after dinner, I can have myself a yogurt and some blueberries, which is 1 serve of dairy and 1 serve of fruit. And if you go through the categories, you can see we have completed those categories for the day. So changing the way you eat. What if you use a meal replacement drink? I have a meal replacement drink. It's just a part of my lifestyle now. I very rarely have cereal, if ever. What I do with my meal replacement drink, though, is I cycle it through to a different meal each day. And there's a reason for this, because if you're learning to produce a new lifestyle, if your meal replacement is breakfast all the time, then you're not learning how to produce breakfast or make breakfast. Okay, by cycling it through like this, on this day, I'm having a meal replacement drink, too easy, but I have to learn to make lunch and dinner. I cycle through the next day, the meal replacement drink is for lunch, but now I have to learn to make breakfast and dinner. And then I cycle through on the day 3, it becomes my meal at night time, my dinner. That means I have to learn to make breakfast and lunch. And that's how I learned to change my lifestyle. I've learned how to change all these meals by cycling the meal replacement drink through. It's a great way to just take the responsibility off one meal so you can focus on 2 meals a day. Just makes lifestyle change easier. Hey, it's time to go into part 2, the restricted vegetable category of the diet plan. Hey, when you look at this, there aren't too many restricted vegetables, okay? There's 9. So let's just have a look at what they are. There's corn, peas, rice, pasta, avocado, pumpkins, parsnips, broad beans, and potatoes. So they're the only 9 restricted vegetables. And to be honest with you, I don't eat parsnips or broad beans, so I only have to remember 7. In the restricted vegetable category, if you're on the 1200 calorie plan, that's 5,000 kilojoules, you can have 1 serve per day. If you're on the 1500 calorie plan, you can have 2 serves per day. If you're on the 1800 calorie plan, you're on 3 serves per day. Now, what is a serve of these vegetables? Well, a quarter of a cup of corn is 1 serve of corn, okay, 41 grams. I've given you the weights if you have kitchen scales, and really on this program you should have kitchen scales because you should be weighing your food. Okay, so a quarter of a cup of corn, a third of a cup of peas or cooked rice or cooked pasta is a serve. 75 grams of avocado. If you're using avocado as a vegetable, restricted vegetable, that means you're putting it in your salad. You can have 75 grams of it in your salad. Or you can have half a cup of pumpkin or half a cup of parsnips, or half a cup of broad beans is a serve. Don't forget, there's the weights there. This is in your manual. 1 small potato, that's 112 gram potato, is a serve of potato. So what you want to do is you want to restrict these vegetables. Now, there's probably reasons why they're considered restricted vegetables these days, and that may be because of the glycemic index. They're likely to cause spikes in blood sugar. So this week's task, as it relates to the diet plan, is for you to focus on your restricted vegetable serves, learn which vegetables are restricted, measure out their serve sizes, and the goal is to not exceed your restricted vegetables. Hey, remember those potatoes things? Whenever you go, if you're having to have meals out, you've got to be careful of potato in the form of fries when it comes with your takeaways if you happen to have it. In fact, if you're going out for fish and chips, try saying fish and salad and no chips with that, okay? But when you're doing this, the goal is to not exceed your restricted vegetables and serve requirements while also maintaining your protein requirements from the previous week. Remember, this is progressive learning, and that's just the way that we're doing it. We learn a little bit each time and we build upon our knowledge. Well done. Okay, let's keep moving along. This is part 3 today. We're looking at snacking on a healthy lifestyle. Snacking is just your morning tea, afternoon tea, or desserts. Snacking can be a healthy habit if you choose the right items. Unfortunately, we wait until the snack attack and don't choose as wisely as we should. How are you at making the correct choices during a snack attack? It's quiz time. I'm just going to ask you some questions. Now, if you like, you can type out the answers. I'll give you 5 seconds after each question just to give a chance to answer the question if you want to. If not, to see how you go as mentally answering the questions. When looking for a healthier snack, the key fat to look at is trans fats, total fats, saturated fats, the fat on your hips, or all of the above. What did you choose? If you chose all the above, you've chosen correctly. But all fats and oils should be restricted or controlled, monitored heavily if you're on a weight loss program. Why is that? Because 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Okay, the best way to reduce calorie intake is to reduce fat. Now, some people are going to say, hey, what about all fats are bad? So they're good oil, the good fats, bad fats. Well, the good fats, bad fats, they both contain 9 calories per gram. So if overconsumption is your problem, then you've got to look at reducing. So the best place to reduce fats and all is probably from the saturated fats area. because that's going to come with meat, animal products. So you want to reduce there, but always be wary not to overdo with your olive oil. Even though it's good oils, it's still going to have 9 calories per gram. So your best bet if you're cooking, perhaps spray oil for a while just so you can reduce how much oils you are using. When looking at nutrition labels, you should choose a snack that is low calorie, low fat, low sugar, or high protein, low fat and low sugar. Or should you choose something that's balanced with 2 out of the 3 macronutrients and contains fiber? Or perhaps you don't bother to read labels at all and just decide on taste and say, I'm going to have that chocolate bar. Well, you should be looking at snacks that are balanced with 2 out of 3 macronutrients and also contain fiber. I'm big on fiber. You've got to increase fiber in your diet. Which of the following should be part of your plan for healthier snacking? Should you have a low-fat snack? Should your snack be a whole food snack like yogurt and berries? Or should your snack be a snack bar or energy bar? Or what the heck, I can't decide, as they all look correct. They are all correct. Things change over the years. You should always go for a low-fat snack, and you should always look at fruit or maybe yogurt or fruit and cheese. But just keep your snacks low fat. But you also, if you can, keep them as whole food snacks because it's easier and healthier. Snack bars have also improved over the years, but still just watch the size of snack bars because it's surprising how small a snack bar must be to keep within your calorie range. Remember, snacks must come from your overall calorie intake. So if you're on a 1200 calorie diet plan and you're allocating 400 calories for breakfast, lunch and dinner to include a snack, you've got to take those calories from one of your meals, which means that your meals are going to be smaller. Just watch that because snacks must come from your overall daily calorie intake. So, all things being equal, which is the best snack for you? Should you have something sweetened with sugar? Should you have something sweetened with organic cane sugar? Should you have something sweetened with maple syrup or honey? Or something that is naturally sweetened like fruit? Well, you got the idea. You should go for the more naturally produced food at this stage, but something sweetened naturally like fruit, even though fruit does have sugar in it, it comes from a natural source. All these things here, maple syrup and honey, it's sugar. Sugar is sugar and organic cane sugar is sugar. It's all generally added sugar when we look at this. This way, the sugar in fruit is natural. It is there. And the fruit on our diet plan has some serve restrictions applied to it. Rice cakes, corn thins make the start of a great snack, which is the best topping for them. 2 tablespoons of ricotta cheese, 1 tablespoon of strawberry jam, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, or a deep fried battered Mars bar. On a corn thin, if you guys chose that Mars bar, oh, you're a lost cause, I'm sorry. But what you should have is 2 tablespoons of ricotta cheese is one of the best toppings. Ricotta cheese is a great thing to have in your fridge for that afternoon snack. You are craving something smooth and creamy, which is the best to snack on. A single serve chocolate pudding, 200 grams of plain yogurt, half a banana with a tablespoon of chocolate syrup, or George Clooney covered with chocolate syrup. I don't know, is George Clooney past his use by date? Oh, I don't know. What do you think? Well, whichever way it goes, we're going to have to say sorry, George, because 200 grams of plain yogurt is probably the best thing of this group to snack on. Not only do you get your dairy requirement, protein requirement, you also getting your calcium requirement or contributing to your calcium requirement, and it's good for good healthy bacteria, which is good for the gut we spoke about last week. In a healthy diet, how many snacks should you have a day? None? As many as you can fit in? 2 to 3 or 1? Well, the correct answer is 2 to 3. But if your calorie intake while you're on a weight loss program is low, like 1200 calories, you may not have the calories available to have snacks. They may be allocated to your meals and your meals may just have to be it. Okay? It depends about where you are. But usually we have 2 to 3 snacks a day, morning tea, afternoon tea, after dinner dessert, and that just helps to keep our metabolic rate up high. Okay? But just be aware, snacks must come from somewhere. Which berries have the least calories? raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, or blackberries. Strawberries. Surprising, isn't it? Strawberries are the low-calorie berries of this list. Time for part 4. Part 4 is water and your health. Why do we look at water? Because hydration is important. Water accounts for 60% of our body weight. How much water should you be drinking? Well, you should be trying for at least 2 litres of water a day. But as a good guide, it's about 1 litre for every 30 kilograms of body weight you are. And if you exercise, you should also be having 1 or 2 glasses of water after a 30 minutes worth of exercise. What if you don't like the taste of water? Well, water is generally tasteless and odorless, but not necessarily from our taps. If you don't like plain water, it's best to look at the nutrition labels of the water or the liquid products you are buying and be wary of the kilojoules of the food and to look for healthier choices. So let's look at the beverages or liquids that you can have instead of water. You can have tea, which is mostly just water anyway, isn't it? There's 0 calories in black tea, but if you add milk, it comes up to 13 to 17 calories. And if you add milk and sugar, it's 29 to 50 calories. So if you have, say, 4 or 5 cups of tea a day with milk and sugar, you could be adding 250 calories to your diet without even knowing. Coffee, well, black coffee is about 4 calories. Once you add the milk, it becomes 17 to 21 calories. If you add milk and sugar, it becomes 33 to 53 calories. Once again, watch the tea and coffee that you're drinking if you're adding milk and sugar to it. What about soft drinks? Well, a 375 ml can of soft drink can have up to 206 calories. Honestly, if you're serious about weight loss, you shouldn't be drinking soft drink. How about beer? Well, if you're serious about weight loss, perhaps you should be not drinking beer. But if you are drinking beer, bear in mind that 1 schooner has 162 calories. That's more than 1 stubby. A stubby of beer has about 135 calories. If you're going to out drinking with the mates after work and think, well, I'm going to have 1 or 2 drinks, try drinking from a pot instead, because a pot of beer has about 103 calories, which is about 50 calories less. So let your mates drink from the schooners, you go for the old-fashioned pot, and you'll be helping to reduce your calories. How about wine? Well, wine is 500 calories per bottle, so if you share a bottle, 250 calories. Spirits, 1,500 calories per bottle, 61 calories per nip. You have 2 or 3 nips a night, and all of a sudden you've just added up to 180 calories to your diet. If you mix it, then your 2 or 3 drinks has now added up to 360 calories per night. Be wary of energy drinks because very rarely are energy drinks calorie free. They do come with calories, so just be very, very careful with energy drinks. Time for a look at our that hidden assassin in our diets, sugar. When you are on a weight loss program, you want to make your calories count. Sugar is just empty calories. No vitamins, no minerals, just calories. Prepackaged foods that are high in calories are not generally nutrient dense. That means, you're not going to get many vitamins and minerals in a snack, in a chocolate bar. You're not going to get many vitamins and minerals from a packet of crisps. They're going to get a high in calories. You're not going to get many vitamins and minerals from a can of Coke or any soft drink because they're usually just full of sugar, which is calories. Focus on protein and fiber and not sugar when you're deciding upon a snack. During the 1980s, carbohydrate diets were the solution to weight loss problems. Carbs were king of the diets in the 80s. 55 to 75% of our diets were carbohydrates. Now it's more like 40 to 50% carbohydrates, around 30% protein, and the balance is in fat. So once again, protein and fiber rule in the supreme era, not necessarily carbohydrates, though you will get fiber from the correct carbohydrates. Sugar is a carbohydrate, and the problem with sugar is it hides in food. It comes associated with high-fat foods because it just makes high-fat foods taste better. It's easily added to our own foods because we add white and brown sugar to our foods ourselves. We put it on breakfast cereals, we put it in cups of teas and put it in coffee. We add it to our cooking, we bake with it. The solution to this problem is to learn to identify sugar by its code name. This fructose, sucrose, glucose, lactose, maltose, and dextrose are easy to spot because they end in OSE. Not so obvious are the corn syrup, fruit juice concentrates, honey, and maltodextrin. these are still sugar. Look, perhaps it's just avoid packaged foods. So how do you avoid packaged foods? Follow the diet plan. The primary concern with sugar is it does not come with vitamins and minerals. It provides only calories. It causes tooth decay. Bacteria in our mouth convert sugar to an acid. Sticky sweets are the problem. When you eat the tubes, the soft tubes, they stick to our teeth. The problem is that the bacteria in our mouth converts that sugar to an acid, which eats into the enamel of our teeth, causing decay. That's it. That was quite a lot there. Thank you for attending to the online weight loss workshop. We'll catch you on Thursday night for the weight loss check-in if you're a member of our Body Key weight loss group. If you're not a member and this is a Monday night free session, then we'll see you next week when we talk about the unrestricted vegetable list of the diet plan. Stay good, stay focused, stay healthy.